Hey you guys, welcome back to Angel Angela. And on this topic, you guys, we are going to be talking about the narcissist final discard and just how final is it? How final is the narcissist discard? When the relationship ends, whether it's the narcissist ended it or the narcissist forced you to end it because they were simply gaslighting you, making you feel crazy, when your intuition was giving you insight on what was going on with this person. When you finally get to a space where you've basically grieved, you've went through the stage where you're basically just trying to accept what this person has said about you. They'll usually, come back, not to apologize, not to even really get back with you. A lot of times it's basically to see where you're at, if you're going to be revengeful, if you're going to, pop up unexpectedly. So they'll try to initiate a conversation or a chance to see you. And when they do see you, it's only to further disrespect you. And you're sitting there trying to heal and make sense of something. So they're going to come back to let you basically know that they've moved on or that they want to make you a secondary source, or they'll make up lies about, work or where they're at in their life. You've accepted that people aren't truly going to know who you were because this narcissist painted this image of you from the start. Not only that, you've accepted that this person does not care about you in the way that you care about them. You've accepted that they were lying to you, that their whole plan was basically just to deceive you in order to make themselves feel good about their situation, their life, their ambitions, or their goals and their dreams and aspirations. And they didn't care about your dreams and your aspirations in the process. And that's a hard pill to swallow. In the midst of the discard and knowing and accepting these things, you become angry. You become angry because you're trying to heal yourself. You're going back and forth with the different events. You're calculating things. You're calculating the time. You're calculating events and things that were said that just didn't make sense. You're looking at situations. You're looking at times where you felt like you should have been enjoying yourself, or you feel like it was the perfect opportunity to finally grow or, do something insightful for, something great for a change. And all of a sudden, it seems like, all those things are gone and you're just left with anger, with sadness, and you don't know where you stand. You don't know, you're confused. You're wondering if this person ever cared about you. You're wondering if they're sorry for the things that they've done. You're waiting for an apology. You're waiting for some type of, regret. You're waiting for empathy. You're waiting for simply an apology or something. You're waiting for someone who doesn't exist. And it's hard to look at it that way. But when you're waiting, this narcissist will make their way back. And when they do, they won't be the same person. They will be someone else every single time. A lot of times you won't realize it in that moment. You won't realize that it's a different person because you're still trying to hang on to the love bombing or to a fantasy that you want it to happen. They come back to see how they left you. They come back to see if you moved on. They come back to see how your finances are doing. If they see anything good going on in your life, anything that they feel like they deserve, they'll come back. They want to be a part of it. They want to be a part of the people that surround you. And how final is the discard? Because a lot of times when you think it's over, it's like you're grieving the relationship. You get angry, and then you forgive yourself. But then the narcissist comes back around and, sometimes you welcome them with open arms. Sometimes you play hard to get. Sometimes you're waiting on them to contact you again or to keep chasing you. And in a sick way, you think it's love, or you think, hey, if this person is trying to contact me after they've discarded me, maybe they did change their mind. Maybe they do care about me. And sometimes you allow the narcissist quickly in your life, and sometimes you don't. Sometimes they feel like they can just come back, sleep with you, or come and shack with you and, and pretend like everything is normal. They come as if they never did anything. They come back as if they didn't just leave you there alone for weeks or days, thinking to yourself, thinking where you stand in the relationship, and every discard is different. Some are shorter periods of time, some are longer. And at first you might be confused, but when you realize you're dealing with a narcissist, you realize that, this is normal. The people around you might even tell you, like, stop worrying about it. They'll come back around, and you might really believe they're not. You will say, no, they're not. No, they're not. You don't understand. Our arguments got so heated that I called the police on them, or the argument got so heated that they hit me, or the argument got so heated that I broke this or they broke that. The reason most people believe they'll come back around is because the narcissist knows what they've done to you. They know that most likely they deserved what they got. But this doesn't mean that it's over. It means that they want revenge now. So you can say, revenge for what? What did I do, right? Why? What did I do? Revenge, usually from the narcissist, is when their relationships fail or when things aren't going right in their life. They've grown so comfortable that they feel that they can take out their frustration out on you because you're a good person. This is why they feel they need to take revenge, or they feel like you've exposed them, or they feel as if, during your breakup when they got hysterical or abusive, when you threatened to call the police or you did call the police, just by making a simple threat, the narcissist is revengeful. And you might think to yourself, well, they've done worse things to me. They don't care because they only care about how they feel at that moment. And they only care about what others do to them. They don't care if they've done the same things to you. They feel like you're beneath them, They might tell you that they're sorry, or they might tell you that, they know how they triggered you. So when they come back, they're basically admitting to you in many different ways with whatever words they're using that They know they hurt you. They know they left you feeling how you felt, but they're basically expecting you to just be strong and to let it go in order for them to come back and be around you and be in your world. And basically, they're also, in a sense, telling you, hey, well, I've done it before, so if I do it again in the future, just know you can't really be mad because I've done it before. So this is why they discard so many times until it feels as if it's the final discard. And it feels as if it's the final discard because every discard, you're basically waking up and a part of you wants to leave. Your inner you wants to detach. But there's this stronghold of wanting the fantasy. You don't want to believe that someone would mess with your emotions in order to get ahead in life or to make them to heal their pain or whatnot. And you don't want to believe that they were willing to risk your well-being mentally and spiritually. And not until you leave a narcissist relationship, you will realize why it's so important to not just be sexual with people, because they get a strong hold on you. You might not be attracted to that person, but now you're connected to them and you've built a spiritual connection, because that hold that the narcissist has over you, that power, it's that type of power that you give someone that you are willing to grow with, and shed light with. The only problem is that you're shedding light onto the narcissist and they're just giving you nothing but darkness. They just simply see that you're going through some type of pain in your life, maybe in your career, or maybe somewhere there's something going on. Maybe there's a death in your family, and that's when the narcissist leaves. So if they're not inflicting pain, they're going to be also leaving when you're going through things, or not only when you're going through things, when you're super happy, when things are going good for you, you have a promotion at work, things like that, they'll leave also because they don't like that the attention's on you. They feel as if you didn't really deserve it, or they feel as if, they could do the same. So it's almost like they go into this competition mode where they feel as if I'm going to basically take the same characteristics that you have and I'm going to make them better. So what makes this so diabolical is that they chip away at your personality. And this is why I've realized, working with different women and working with women that are angry and, their attitude is like, I'm quiet, I don't talk, I don't smile, I don't really want to greet you, I don't really even want to be cordial with you. And if you say something, the slightest bit of something that I don't like, I'm going to snap at you. I'm going to snap. So I've learned that some victims of narcissist abuse, I've learned to kind of relax myself when I'm in those type of situations, to realize that this person must have really been beaten up by a narcissist. They can't be happy, they can't be sad, so they feel nothing. This is another reason why you really can't trust people that have said that they've went through narcissistic abuse, because a lot of times they are the narcissist and then they ran across another narcissist, and it just so happened that that narcissist woman played the same game on them that they've played other people. The only difference is that that narcissist woman used her femininity to get what she wanted. And that's what threw them off, was that they used their qualities, their curves or their smile, and the same things they do, they just really didn't expect it from them. So a lot of times during those discards, you're finding out how much of a jealous person this person is. You're finding out how much of a hateful person this person is. You're just finding out how deep it is that, how deeply this person has no remorse for you and wants to inflict pain in any kind of way that they can. And because hurt people, we have to be aware of not hurting the people around us or taking it out on people because of how we feel. So they'll go ahead and they'll create their own fantasy. And once that fantasy is over, they've already made up, a storyline of how to get out of that whole situation and how to project everything onto you. So they'll go along and believe their own lie. And then when you're trying to bring them to reality, they'll almost attack you. They'll get angry. They'll attack you for trying to break that reality. And I really need you guys to get it through your head that all these things that Narcissist is telling you guys are lies. It's also that you don't move on. They know that you're going to have the knowledge and the wisdom to really overpass them. So this is why they have to put you down. They have to put you down so that in their fantasy world, when they think about you, it's like, oh, they're not happy. They never moved on. They're still in love with me. And I don't want to be with them. They're stuck in the past. That's how they want to view you. Do not give these people the satisfaction of becoming what they want you to become, because they're projecting these things on you. No one can tell you who you are. You know your own thoughts, you know your own memories, your experiences, and you know your version of what happened. So do not allow these people to control your destiny. It's all part of brainwash, you guys. The narcissist wants you stuck in the past. The narcissist simply looks at human beings as objects. They feel as if you all have the will and the ability to choose your destiny and the things that you want to do in life. And they feel as if, well, if you're not doing the things that you want to do and I'm able to control you, that means that anyone else can control you. And if I'm not controlling you, someone else will be controlling you. So it might as well be me. That's just how they look at people. You have to think about it in a sense of imagining yourself being alone as the narcissist has discarded you and time has went on, and meeting someone that you really like, right? And you're dating this new person and everything is going great. And this girl or this guy, it's like they're the perfect guy. They're the perfect, other half. Everything is going good. They're making, plans for the future. And you're thinking, this person might not be perfect. They're definitely not the narcissist that you were with, but they're a good person. And that's all you ever really wanted, right? The narcissist will come back in your life and test you. And a lot of times, most empaths don't really want to move on. They just sometimes choose to move on because the narcissist has left them. And sometimes, as an empath, going through that, you get lonely. Or you might not want to talk to anyone at all. You might not even know how to talk to anyone. But In this scenario, I want you guys to imagine that you did find someone else, and this person's treating you well. But then the narcissist comes back into your life. You might have children with them, you might not. You might, this narcissist might come in and finally tell you, hey, I'm ready to get married, or, they might bring you a ring, and you've been in this relationship for years, and after the discard, it's only been a couple of months, and finally this person's asking you to marry them, something you've always wanted to do with this narcissist, right? Because the narcissist knows you've moved on. So now you're thinking, maybe they do love me, maybe they do care, and maybe they don't want to lose me. So you decide to leave the person that you're with, hurting them, right? You're going to hurt them by leaving them. And when you're leaving, you're not thinking to yourself about how badly you're hurting that person, although you know you're hurting that person, but you're thinking from your ego, and you're thinking, I want what I want. I've been wanting to marry this narcissist my whole life, and there's a ring, they're ready. You're not thinking, you're not feeling, should I say, the pain of that other person. You might even be thinking to yourself, well, I've only been dating you for 2 months. It's not a big deal, It's not a big deal. And by me leaving, that should show you that those 2 months weren't as serious as we believed, because it was just 2 months and I left, right? So if you leave, you're not thinking of, how that person feels, because you're feeling as if, well, it was only 2 months. But in a narcissist world, you're thinking to yourself, I'm not going to keep going back playing with that person's heart. But in a narcissist world, they're looking at the whole situation, and if the relationship doesn't work out, they're willing to go back to someone they know cares about them. So you can leave this person for the narcissist. Let's just say that you can leave this person for the narcissist. But what if you go with the narcissist and he takes back the ring that he gave you somehow, right? He just takes it. He doesn't even tell you. He takes it back without your permission. You ask the narcissist, where's the ring? And he tells you, oh, well, I want to get married, but it's just so many things going on right now with bills. So I decided to pawn it and pay some bills. I'll get you a better one later. Then later on, you get into an argument with the narcissist, and then they tell you, well, I felt like marrying you that time, but I don't feel like getting married anymore. I just feel like I won't make a good husband, or I just never saw myself getting married. And you're thinking, well, why would you come back when you knew I moved on with someone else? The narcissist is not going to care and say that they discard you, right? What a lot of people do, if you get discarded with someone, that your ego is hurt. So in a narcissist's case, if his ego is hurt, he's going to go back to the person he remembers being good to him. So if you put yourself in that narcissist's shoes, you would go back to that guy that you left for that narcissist, and you wouldn't tell that person why you're upset or why you're sad. You would start talking about your family or other things around you that are bothering you, just because you expect empathy from that person. So when you look at the narcissist discarding you for new supply, for old supply, for past supply, you have to think of putting yourself in a situation where you're seeing things for what they are. And that's that when there's something in the narcissist's view that they feel like they need or want, they do not care about your feelings. They want what they want. And when it doesn't work out, they come back or they cry to you or they tell you stories of events, of things that happened that never really happened, or they're twisting things, or they're going around talking to their family or their friends about you in a negative light, telling them that they're using you, or or they don't really love you, or they're telling them, how many women they have in rotation, or they're telling them, things that they're doing, but they're saying that you're doing them. They gaslight you. They dump their negative energy on you. They want to exchange energies, and they do it in a way where it doesn't seem like that's what they're doing. But once they've managed to project all of their negativity on you, it's like they're on this high, and they're off this high, off your light, basically, and you're not realizing that them gaslighting you has changed you, and that change is that negative energy that they've dumped, and until they're gone or they're discarded you or they're on this high, you realize that. And, they'll tell you, you've always been like this, you're negative. They'll project everything on you. You're delusional. You're living in a fantasy. They'll tell you crazy things, and they're literally just projecting themselves onto you. And when you really think about it, you weren't this person before them. You might have had a couple bad relationships, but this one was probably the one that just was the icing on the cake. And it was like, this is just sinister on another level. So you realize that's not who I used to be. And I know that now I've changed. I'm different. And they're like, I know, I turned you. I'm a vampire. I've turned you. That's literally how they're looking at it. And they won't admit that they try to exchange energy, but that's literally what they're doing. They, when they project all these feelings of, of you being this way and judging you and trying to put their characteristics that they have on you, at the moment, you're not going to realize it. Every single moment that you had with the narcissist where they were putting you through ups and downs, you realize that it was them who was being delusional. It was them who emotions were everywhere. It was them who had mood swings and was trying to normalize their actions. It was them who was blame shifting. It was them who, all these characteristics that they've put on you. You will realize as the months or the years go by that they literally projected themselves onto you. And it's literally painful because you literally understand that they needed you. They needed your positivity. They needed everything about you. You were so great to them at one point. You were their soulmate at one point. And they needed you to gain their strength. They needed you for approval. They needed you to praise them, to be almost thankful to have their presence around you, you know? And it was all a lie. And when you see the patterns and how things started and all the red flags, you see the truth, because they treated you as if they already knew you when they truly, really didn't know you. You just got comfortable with them because they became a familiar to you. The narcissist, plays mind games with people. If someone is able to discard you and leave you and come back and act like nothing, that's all it is. They don't see you as anything else but someone who is there to save them. When they leave and they know that you're upset or you're hurt, they don't care. They know that you're hurt. They know you're upset because they felt like that before. And in my experience, I remember going through a discard, and I remember the narcissist actually telling me, "Oh, now you know what it feels like." And I couldn't understand, but I realized that that's what he meant. That pain that you feel of losing the narcissist, that's the pain that they feel for losing their new supply or losing past supply or being rejected. That's how they feel. And they actually believe it's okay to make you feel that way. And that's what makes the narcissist a narcissist. That's what makes them so diabolical and different from, someone who has empathy. It comes a time where it's embarrassing, or you're going to feel as if, I don't want to put my pain onto this person because I decided to go back to the narcissist. I don't want to hurt that person just because I'm hurt, because they didn't do anything to me. They were good to me, and I decided to go to the narcissist. So the narcissist, you guys, is very diabolical. They know the pain that they're inflicting. They enjoy that. It actually boosts their ego. It makes them feel as if, yeah, I break lots of hearts. That's what I do. That's life. And you're just like, well, haven't you had your heart broken? Why would you want to do that to someone? And, you can't stay in the why, or you can't stay in a mindset where you're trying to figure out if it's a final discard, because the narcissist lives a life where they feel as if they're going to do whatever they want to do, and they're basically like, hey, if you're going to take me back, even better for me, but it's going to be under my terms, So there's never truly a discard. It's really what position you want to play, because when a narcissist is ready to leave and discard you, they're going to leave, and there's nothing you're going to be able to do about it. They get violent, they're ready to hit you, they're ready to do things to you, and it's because, they weren't being honest about who they were. But in reality, you never knew who this person was to begin with. And it's okay. It's okay to understand that. It's okay, because that's how you're able to heal from that pain. That's how you're able to understand that, life goes on, and that the narcissist finds it very difficult to keep moving forward in life, and that's why they need supply. Always know that what goes around you guys comes around, and I'm wishing you guys nothing but the best. Sending you guys lots of love, lots of peace, and lots of light. If this video was helpful, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and leave your comments down below on the Narcissist final discard. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.